So I just got my LPX Vengeance 64 gigs of RAM in the mail, and I'm gonna install it into my ROG Strix B550-A gaming computer. And we'll see if it works. Well, before that, I'm going to update the BIOS. And that's the colorful computer behind there. And all I'm hoping for is that it works, because it wasn't listed on a quality vendor's site, and it's 64 gigs of RAM. I don't know if there's any troubleshooting that I'll have to do. Hopefully it's just plug and play, and I'm just going to update the BIOS and pull out the computer and turn it on. So I downloaded an updated BIOS. I'm on version 3205 and this is 3607. So the idea is I'm just going to update the BIOS. There was a beta BIOS that was newer than this one, but I didn't update it, didn't download it, because it was just a beta BIOS. And here's processing, shouldn't take too long. And you don't need to watch the bar go across. I'll just get the thing going and then shut down and install the sticks. So after updating the BIOS, we detected a new FTM firmware version processor, which will change the data structure of the storage space for firmware TPM. If you did not apply the FTPM function, please press Y to continue. If you have BitLocker, please follow the instruction below. Press Y to reset the firmware. Please ensure press N to keep the previous FTM firmware and continue system boot. But FTM function will not be available. You can swap back to the BIOS processor, recover related keys and data. I'm not sure what to do. I think I should press Y. This is why I'm reluctant about updating the BIOS, because I had the computer running fine into Windows 11 and now it restarted. I wasn't here to watch it restart, but it restarted and this message came up. I'll press Y and see what happens. I need FTPM for Windows 11, I believe, so N was not an option. Will it boot into Windows? I think it's just detecting my RAM again and restarting. CPU fan error. That's because I don't have a CPU fan on there. It's all... Alright, let's go to F1. Set up the BIOS. Add monitor. I don't remember how to... Disable, yes. Cancel. How do you disable that little fan? Well, maybe that fixed it already, so let's go save changes and reset. Okay. That did not fix it, I don't think. Fan error, press F1 to run setup. F1. Okay, navigate to monitoring. Oh, shoot, exit. I didn't want to click that. Monitor. Okay. It's gonna calibrate my fans. That's not what I wanted. It's not calibrating any fans because I don't have any. Okay, Q fan control. CPU silent turbo manual. Ignore is what I want. Yes, that's what I want. Ignore. Let's go to standard. Go to auto. Exit. Save changes and reset. Okay. Don't CPU fan error me again. Yay, it's booting Windows. Alright, so I'll just shut the computer down. Pull the sticks out. And upgrade to 64 gigs of RAM. I don't really need 64 gigs of RAM, but it's just something I wanted. I don't recommend upgrading to 64 gigs of RAM. So here's my computer. It doesn't look dusty at all, so I'm not going to vacuum it. And I'm just going to take out those two sticks and replace it with these sticks. Because I was trying to put it in backwards and they weren't clicking, and I noticed I did put them in backwards, so now I have them forward the right way. I'm not the greatest at building computers, but I built a few to notice that, yeah, I was doing it wrong. But I noticed there is a lot of dust in here, and I'm gonna take a shop vac and vacuum it out. So this is boot up. Let's see if it works. Alright, blank screen. There we go, that's good. I just want to see if it gets into Windows and it recognizes all 64 gigs of RAM before I change the XMP. Alright, so it booted up. Let's go to this PC, properties, 64 gigs of installed RAM. So it does recognize it. Now the question is, will it boot in XMP mode? So let's go start, restart. Yeah, I was pressing down pretty hard with it in the wrong position, the RAM. And I didn't know if I broke the sticks or not, or bent it a little bit, but I guess it didn't wreck it. Alright, AI tweaker, DLCP 3200. Let's leave that to disabled. Let's put it to enabled. Auto. Everything at auto. DRAM voltage 1.35, which is normal. And let's go to advanced. Any settings here? Probably not. Alright, so exit, save changes and reset. Okay. Cross fingers, hope it works. Otherwise I'm stuck with slow RAM. Alright, so it's loading up. Let's see, hardware info, 64, sensors only, get out of here Ubisoft. Does it say the speed of the RAM here? Yeah, 1600, which is multiplied by 2 to get 3200. So obviously you'd want to test the games. I'm using 10 gigs of RAM at default, which is how it used to be before. Let's go into Task Manager, see what it says. Normally I'd use CPU Z, but I don't know if I have it in my downloads. There we go. We got CPU Z. Memory 64 at 1600 megahertz. Yeah, that's right. DDR 3200, 1600 megahertz. And everything appears to be working. I'm on that BIOS from 2024, which is pretty recent. And it's done. The only game that I own that might benefit from 64 gigs of RAM is City Skylines 2, but I've never seen it go beyond 16 gigs of RAM. It might. I'll try to get into Task Manager just to look at the RAM. Memory, there it is, right off the default, and it looks like it worked, even though I was pressing down pretty hard with it backwards in the computer. So I can close it up and connect my network, and that's it. Simple upgrade. A little too complicated because I was pressing it the wrong way, but that's fine. Nothing broke. I wasn't pressing too hard, I guess. And that's it.